Hello there. Excuse me. Welcome, beautiful people of the world, to Noxious Masculinity with your host, Moss Man. And this is the first time that we'll be streaming. This will be an ongoing session of things that we want to bring to the world and share with the world to put an end to toxic masculinity, if there is such a thing. Here at Noxious Masculinity, our mission statement is to put an end to the battle of the sexes. We're waging a war against it. And the only way to be able to do that is with first communication. And so the first thing that we would like to communicate with you all is that there is no such thing as toxic masculinity. And hear me out. I'm sure that a lot of people will not agree with that. And the reason we say that and we believe that is because to be toxic is not masculine. So then that would make toxic masculinity as a statement something that is, an oxymoron. And it makes the statement not true. So with that being said, there's only masculinity and non-masculinity. And that is all there is. And if you are a young man like myself, where you grew up and you didn't have a lot of true masculine influences in your life, well, then there's a good chance that you don't really know what it is to be a true masculine. And that is what we're going to be, teaching you here today and for the foreseeable future. So, first step in becoming a true masculine is understanding that you're going to have to work on yourself. And then in order to work on yourself, you're going to have to work on your relationships. First, you're going to have to work on yourself. And then you can work on your relationship. How do you do that? Well, first thing you need to be able to do, communicate effectively. How do you communicate effectively? It's not just saying a bunch of words or saying what you think in the moment or what your emotions are making you feel, but communicating effectively is expressing what it is that you're trying to say and what it is that you truly feel, and not just in the moment. Sometimes in the moment, but overall, you want to be able to talk about the things that you feel in depth, truly what you feel. After being able to communicate what it is that you feel, then you need to be able to understand. And to be able to understand is to put aside your own feelings, your own past, your own creeds, excuse me, and feel what it is that somebody else is trying to convey to you with their communication. And a certain amount of empathy goes into being able to understand, correctly. Just hearing somebody is not understanding. And the next step after communicating effectively and being able to understand what somebody else is trying to communicate to you, then you can reach the highest of all levels, which is love. And love is being able to apply the understanding that you've gotten through communication. And a lot of times with love, it involves the same empathy of the understanding of being able to hear and really truly understand what somebody's trying to say to you. And so once you apply that understanding of what it is that they convey to you, then you can reach the basis level of love. Love has many meanings, especially in our language, which is English. So from there, after applying the understanding, now you have been able to effectively work on yourself. And you can use that to plateau into working on your relationship. And being the type of masculine that you are, you want to make things be fit and well. You want things to work out and have solution. And so in your new foundation of becoming a true masculine, if you already know what it means to be a masculine, maybe this won't be the channel for you. Maybe it will. But if you're trying to better yourself, then what you'll learn is you have to create a new foundation. And that new foundation needs to be built on that life is never completed. And you need to stop hoping and wishing and working towards a completion of life, because there is no completion. Life is not like your favorite video game or sports game where you do a bunch of things and then time runs out and then you completed and you won and it's over. Life doesn't work like that, and neither does your relationship. And so as a man, normally we like to solve solutions. We'll find the problem first and then solve the solution. And that is not an effective way to be a true masculine. Maybe that's opposite of what the world has told you, but that is not the truth. So in this new building of that we're trying to create here, which is your true masculinity, you have to see yourself as like that building that was, that home that's like in the middle of the boulevard or the road that you live on, that has a terrible front yard that nobody takes care of. It looks battered, it looks beat up. The backyard is probably, untamed. And the inside needs a lot of work. And I'm not saying that you're broken, but you're definitely going to need some time, some effort, and some love put into you. And if you really care about being a true masculine, then you will do your due diligence in becoming this true masculine. So we're starting with a new foundation. And the cornerstone of this foundation is life is never completed. And the reason why life is never completed, because life is very organic. And things that are organic are very ununderstandable to the human mind. A lot of times it's hard for us to be able to conceive that things don't have meaning or understanding. Not saying that life doesn't have, but the things that happen in life are sometimes unexplainable. And you have to be able to be okay with that. Meaning your need and want to fix things and make things better and get to the top and the plateau of it is not necessarily how life works. And it's not how masculinity works. So you've been able to create this new foundation, this new understanding of yourself and your relationships, communication, understanding and love, and your cornerstone of understanding that life is never complete. You have to take this new foundation and put it into different aspects of your life. Well, first, in being a true masculine, is putting that aspect into the opposite of yourself, which is your polarity, aka the feminine. So the first step of being able to apply this to your feminine, whether you have one or you're going to have one or you eventually want to have one, you have to understand that it's not your job to fix her and there's no completion in her. And to assess of whether that relationship is good for you or not, you have to take in all of the nuances and the idiosyncrasies of this person and this being and what it is that you don't like about this person. Maybe she leaves the cabinet open and you come home and you see that the cabinet's open, and every time she leaves the cabinet open and you really don't like that. Your first thought as being a masculine is a Mr. Fix-It type of attitude, which is, how can I get her to not do this with the cabinet? Well, you need to understand that there's things about your woman that you're not going to be able to fix. And if you're not okay with these things, maybe the cabinet is a basic aspect, but what I'm saying is that if there's things about her that you will not be able to change and that you know that you don't like about her and they are intolerable, well, then you need to go ahead and end that relationship. There will be a lot of unhealthy things that come from that relationship. And so, you know, for the betterment of both of you, go ahead and let that relationship go now. I mean, you will learn some things, but you might save yourself some heartache as well. And it'll keep you from doing the quote unquote toxic things, that us masculines do. We are going through broken hearts, unbroken hearts, broken hearts, unbroken hearts. But let's say that these things are acceptable for you and you do see that this relationship is more important to you than the things that she doesn't do, quotation marks, right, then you're on a step to knowing that this is somebody that you want to be with. And you have to understand that being a true masculine is knowing that the feminine is a polarity of the self and that her complicatedness and her ability to be chaotic at times to yourself is the first step of really embracing your masculinity and really accepting your masculinity as an accepting that she is different and she will be, chaotic or complicated. And if that is the case that you do want to be with her, then those times when you have your Mr. Fix-It moment, excuse me, going back to the cabinet thing, instead of going, hey, every time you come in, you always leave it open. Just try to remember to keep the cabinet closed. Well, end all your Mr. Fix-It moments with those things that you don't like and learn to relax in those moments, which is a very, very tough thing to do. Easier said than done. It does take work, but relax. Conscious breathing. After being able to relax, embrace her. Embrace her in a loving way. One of the ways that you could possibly go about it is, maybe come up behind her, give her a hug and give her a kiss on the neck or, kiss on the shoulder. And, tell her that you love that about her. You love the fact that whenever you come home, the cabinets are open and you're able to get to the cups way easy. And, you have to learn to be able to find a little humor in these, back and forth of not being able to understand the things that she does. And in those moments of being able to relax, embrace her, and tell her that you love her and you love the way that she is, that is your first stepping stone into growing your relationship with your woman and putting an end to the ability to be toxic if there is a such thing as toxic masculinity. So that would put aside your ability to be toxic in those moments, and it will be very beneficial not only to your woman but yourself. And you'll see yourself grow in these moments, and you'll be able to understand in a better way, and you might even see different results from her by choosing, the more healthier route. So your first goal is to not have Mr. Fix-It moment. Relax, embrace her, and embrace her with love, and tell her you love her the way that she is. Now, with your woman being, a part of your ability to want to feel like things are complete and you're working on that, then you reach to the next level of understanding in your foundation and your cornerstone of knowing that life is never complete, and you take it into your dream. Excuse me. Your dreams are a lot of times something as a man that you put to the side. You give a lot of excuses for why it is that you don't do it. And in being a true masculine, you have to understand that no real man is able to complete the things that they want to complete by making excuses. No man in life ever has ever completed anything that they wanted to do or accomplished the things that they want to accomplish as far as their dreams go with making excuses. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses for why it is that right now, today, that you don't work on the things that you're here to give to the world, because your dreams are essentially your gifts to the world. And so you have to stop making excuses for that. And a lot of times, your excuses are your way of showing your lack of discipline. And any man that is not disciplined is not a true masculine. And so you give masculine or being a man a bad name by not being disciplined in that way. So you have to learn how to be creative in, finding time to be able to put time into your gift. And your gift is and should be your life's work. It is what you were here to do. And you will reach your greatest potential by indulging yourself in what it is that you're here to bring to the world. And so I suggest, as a young man or a lost man, to find what it is that you love doing and you love giving and sharing with the world, and do that. And your goal should be to spend at the minimum an hour a day working on what it is that you love to do and what it is that you think that you're here to bring to the world. It's easy to get caught up in a lot of different things that are happening in life and to feel like there's not enough time. But that's just an excuse for a lack of discipline. So your goal should be to spend at least an hour a day working on or doing or finding out what it is that you love to do and you do really well that you can share with the world. Because a man is here to share his gift. And so after reaching the goal of being able to not have Mr. Fix-It moment and, stop making excuses for why it is that you're not doing your dreams, macro and micro, then your next step is to take this new foundation that you have of not, thinking that life is complete and things are over and I'm going to accomplish this and it will be done. Your next place that you want to establish this in is your work. And a lot of us, are trained or taught to believe that, we go to school, we get a job, we work that job for as long as we can, we retire, and then after you retire, you've completed life. And now you can do the things that you really wanted to do the whole time. That is not the truth, and that is not true masculinity. True masculinity knows that your work never ends. And to retire is, basically to mean to rest. And to rest is essentially what death is. And if you think that your job is complete or you're working towards having a job be completed to rest, you are not exercising your true masculinity. And to be a true masculinity, when it comes to your job, aka your dreams, hopefully, you understand that to fully live is to always be giving that gift every moment of every breath that you take. Everything that your life should be about is giving your gift with your woman, with your family, with the world, with whatever it is that you're doing. Your love should always be the number one priority of your life. And this is how you get to the point of being able to establish yourself in your true masculinity. And, you have to understand that these things are never complete, and I cannot stress that enough, because as men, we find our value in being able to achieve results of things. And to an extent, that is a very, very true statement. But in the grand scheme of life and being a true masculine, you know that your job is never complete. And until you are no longer able to breathe and walk on this plane of existence, that your job is to be giving your gift. And life will always, because it is organic, life will always bring you unforeseeable challenges. And if you don't have this know within yourself, a foundation within yourself, that life is never complete, when these unforeseeable challenges come to you with your woman, with your family relationship, with your dreams, with your job, well, then as a man, you find yourself let down and heartbroken, and you seem to move in the world with almost like a gray cloud over your head. And that comes from and extends from your ability to achieve results. A man is able to grow when he's able to achieve things and accomplish things. And so we don't want to be men that walk around with heartache, because then that is when the quote unquote toxicity, kicks in, and you become more like a wounded dog, because you've been unable to accomplish things and know where it is that you're headed and what you're here to do. And when that happens, you're unable to communicate effectively. You're unable to understand. And because of those things, you're unable to love. And a man's greatest gift, again, is his ability to share his love. So, another step after being able to realize that, hey, I'm established myself in the cornerstone of not feeling accomplished with my relationships and my dream, and always giving my love, realize that significant men never wait for money, security, things to be easy, or a woman to go out and accomplish what it is that they're here to accomplish, and give to the world what it is they're here to give to the world. And a lot of us are lost in what it is that we're here to give. We think that getting riches and having lots of things show that we are of high value and of high character. And sadly, this is not the truth. And this is what leads to not being a true masculine. And so you have to realize what it is that you want most in life, and what it is that you're here to give most in life, and do that every moment of every day, every phone call, every video game, every time you go out and play basketball, every time you're with your family. Focus on always giving your gift, and that should be the forefront of your life. So I think that, when you're able to understand the foundation of knowing that life is never complete, then you'll be able to move forward in your masculinity. This is the basis of what all your masculine energy should be based upon. And from there you grow. And so now we've created a good foundation for, that house that you are, and we can continue to build on that and to make it become better. So, as long as you realize that every moment of every day that you don't do what it is that you're here to do because you've made excuses, you are wasting, precious time of understanding your clarity of what it is you're here to do. And as long as you are unsure and not clear of what it is you're here to do, then you will be doing things in life that are, deemed toxic. And that is basically not true masculinity. So hopefully throughout this, you've been able to, learn something new or hear something new. And if not, then that's a good thing. That means you're on your way to understanding what it means to be a real masculine. So we'll do a little summarize of what it is that you've learned. Hopefully you've learned that the first thing you need to work on is yourself, and then you can work on your relationship. How do you do those things? With communication, understanding, and then love. Your foundation is life is never complete. It is not a game that you finish. It is always happening. You are always growing. You are always learning, and you always have an opportunity to share your gift. And you use this with your woman, your dreams, and also with your job, and also with your family, and even more so with the world. You have to be able to see yourself in the world. And the only way to be able to do that is to give your gift to the world. So hopefully, this has been an enlightening experience for you and something that you've enjoyed. And we will be doing many more. And hopefully, in future sessions, you'll be able to join the show and we can have dialect between me and whoever you are that, has enjoyed this. I like to end every session with a question of the day. So the question of the day is something that I've had in multiple conversations with people. And because times have changed and, the way that life is lived has changed, people always ask, should men pay for the first date? I would love to hear your responses to this. And I would love to hear from both, men and women on this response of who should pay for the first date. Times have changed. Things have gone into a way of the life that we used to live is not the same life that we live now. And the life that our fathers and their fathers lived is not the same life that we live. And so to be a true masculine and you're out courting, do you pay for the first date? I'd love to hear your feedback on that. I have my own personal opinion on that, but I would love to hear your feedback. And I also would like to end every session too with giving you a book to read. I think that when you learn that reading is fundamental, fun to mental, you learn that reading is a very, very healthy thing and improving your masculinity. You should always be growing. And so the book of the day is The Art of Communicating. And please forgive me if I mess up the name, but it's by Thich, Nhat, Hanh. It's a very, very good book. I personally loved it, and I've used all of the information that I have gotten out of that book. So I highly suggest that you find that book and you read it. If you can't read it, listen to it. It's a very, very good book and a very healthy book. So we will also be in future sessions, ending every session with self-affirmation. I think that when you tell yourself good things, it's almost like a placebo effect to yourself. If you tell yourself that you're healthy, the mind will believe that it's healthy and then the body will be healthy. So we want to do self-affirmations, and I highly suggest that you give yourself self-affirmations every day to keep your spirits in a good place. So the self-affirmation that I personally have for myself is the one that I'll be sharing with you all, and then it'll be the one that we use for every session. So if you get a chance to, I would say repeat after me. Maybe if you don't want to do it out loud, definitely do it within your spirit. First thing is, I am. Because I am alive, because I am breathing, I am. Before I am anything else in this world, I am. So I am. I am happy. Therefore, I am loving. Therefore, I am honest. Therefore, I am dedicated. Therefore, I am positive. Therefore, I am powerful. Therefore, I am wise. Therefore, I am understanding. Therefore, I am purposeful. Therefore, I will forgive myself should I come short of my ideals, one day at a time. And with that being said, I would like to thank you all for watching. And if you really enjoyed it, come back and, for the next video. And hopefully you would love to be able to join in. And until the next time, we appreciate you. And if you enjoyed everything, go ahead and hit the like button and please comment on the question of the day. So thank you all for joining. Stay suave, stay safe, stay sharing your love.